wondering this morning, yes, we know our focus. What we are doing is to review. Let's remind ourselves of those events, major events that hit the airwaves, the paper headlines, talking point for Nigerians in 2017. Officially, we have just 2 official working days for the year 2017. Of course, on the Daybreak Show Thursday, tomorrow will be the last edition of the Citizens Forum for the year 2017. I again say you are welcome. Dele Ayodo is my name.
I am Aghemerio. Oaikhenan.
All right, yes, 2017, like we said this morning, we'll be looking at those events, societal general events that we think are worth reflecting on. Like we started on Monday, we highlighted them. That's what we'll be reacting to. That's what our guests will also be reflecting upon. Let me welcome one of the parliamentarians this morning, journalist, broadcaster, Biodun Bello. Good morning, W.
It's nice to be home again, Dele.
All right, let me start from your own assessment. How would you want to rate the year 2017? Let's start that way. Good, fair, bad, and why?
All right. A lot of people have responded to our quick take this morning, and they told us a lot of stories which you controlled very well. The year 2017 did not start well for Nigeria, and unfortunately, most unfortunately, it's not ending well. And so you can expect that kind of reaction from all of us. But in between, there are so many landmarks that we cannot neglect. At the beginning of 2017, we had the presidential illness problem for 103 or 106, whichever one is correct, that we were managing to do something. In between doing that, they said we are recovering from our economy, which did not reflect at all in the pockets of the likes of yourself and all the people out there. But generally speaking, my first assessment will be this. It is in 2017 that Nigeria actually got focused on 3 major things that we need to tackle. The first was the security thing. Whether we want to accept it or not, the real security in the Northeast was brought to a particular level that we can now conveniently talk about it. That it's outstanding. The second one was that we saw very clearly the kind of fights against corruption that this government wanted to pursue. Whether some people will tolerate it and say it is this, it is that, there was or there is still a fight against corruption if the president of the Senate can be taken to court, if some people can agitate and say the secretary to the state, to the federal government must be sacked, if we have the kind of and the minor kind of money gates that has been exposed, and so many. If, for example, the wife of the president can come out and say all the things he has said, that clearly shows that yes, there is a fight on. Whether effective, whether you want to now grade it, is another kind of thing. The third one is the venture into other areas where we can get money outside of oil. A lot of kind of corporations are now going on within states. Lagos State is in Taraba, Kebbi and Ogun is doing this for rice, and so many other things are going on that are showing us that truly there could be alternatives
To oil.
to oil.
Oil money.
Oil money. Got what? Now, so those 3 things are signposts of a government, maybe slow, maybe inadequate, but the government that is doing a lot. But when you now come to the basic areas in which we must look at it, you ask for my first analysis, and I'll tell you, that area is the area of poverty. Our economy is said to be doing well, but there is no money in people's pocket. They are not feeling it. Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu was kind enough to tell us that though Nigeria may be doing well economically as an economist, an accountant, but there is poverty still in the land. And if somebody wants to talk about the government in power, I think that person has the authority to tell us that there is poverty. There is still poverty. Let me quickly bring it to the international level for you. While we are still talking about 1.90 as the least dollar that somebody must earn in a day, the new Sustainable Development Goals is now telling us that we must raise the level to $5. While we are talking about that $2, so to speak, how many Nigerians can earn 700 naira per day outside of whatever they can spend? That is, you can put 700 naira abai every day, which will give you about 21,000 naira every month. Can you? I ask everybody that question, and then it is not to talk of, now we're not talking about sustainable. I will try to explain Sustainable Development Goals as it is different from the Millennium Development Goal. The Millennium Development Goal was a jamboree. The Sustainable Development Goal is just telling you, make the fuel that you are going to put in your car. Put it in the car and travel the mileage you can. And when you are on the way or you are almost getting there, then you can expect assistance. We are still in the poverty line. In 2003, the study carried out in 65 countries are telling us in the UK News Scientific magazine that time, Nigerians are the happiest people on earth. 2004, a year later, another BBC report noted that Nigeria believes in God. We are the one that believes in God, most religious country in the world. Over 90% of Nigerians are said to believe seriously, but by 2013, reports of our own Bureau of Statistics observed that 120 million Nigerians are still living under poverty line. The general analysis does not make anybody happy. Now, to just quickly put it straight, all of this going on, our government led by the APC, all of them as intelligent and as good as they're doing, allowed the situation we have now found ourselves in.
So how do you want to now agree?
The end of the year for anybody is the best part of the year. You have those long holidays, we want to marry, Christmas, everybody wants to enjoy. And some people manage to puncture our balloon. However unhealthy that balloon was throughout the year, however managing tough, like the president said it has been, at the end of the year, then the devil came back, fuel scarcity. And as I am talking to you this morning, all over this country, there is this real scarcity of fuel that is beyond any kind of rhetorics, whether the DPP, whatever you call them, is going to close petrol stations, or some people are accused of hoarding the fuel.
No, that be the solution.
The point is this, Dele, there is no fuel, and Nigerians, even in our poverty, in our suffering, are very, very unhappy. So you can expect this kind of reactions from all our callers this morning, telling you, I was just in the car, just listening, and I was shaking my head as you and my dear sister there, battling to just say, please, let us do it this way. We are a responsible radio station. We cannot allow people to just go out and start painting, especially when I'm here, painting everything dark, dark, dark. There must be some silver lining. I agree with all of you that things are very, very tough. What we will do now is look at government on one side and look at you, the people, and see how we can get together.
All right, because there are some stories Aghemerio will be treating with you over there. But I should have mentioned these first. That should have been the first thing. Biodun Bello was 60 on Sunday.
No, he's going to be 60 on Sunday.
He's going to be 60 on Sunday.
Yeah,
the last Sunday of the
year,
2017. So in advance. Or in
don't worry, Dele.
So just note that.
Okay.
Information.
We are coming to that.
To be noted. All right, I give it over to you. Thank you with the stories of the year.
All right, stories of the year indeed. And the very first one now will be picking. Of course, it's so striking because when that story hit the airwaves back then. I mean, it's hit every Nigerian, as it were. Now, it's about the 3,480 Nigerians deported from Libya in 10 months. A total of 3,480 young Nigerians, mostly girls, deported from Libya in the last 10 months, the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, NCRMI, has said. Now, this NCRMI Southwest Zonal Director, Mrs. Margaret Okebu, told the News Agency of Nigeria in Lagos on Tuesday that the deportees were received from February 1 to November 6.
All right. Okay. Very well. Your opinion about that?
I know the way
we're running story.
In fact, you see, the implication of this is.
And I remember that on the quick take segment, one of our quick take, we asked who is at fault? Is it the people migrating or the government?
It is a general thing, Dele. If the government, I like to use very homely analysis. You have 10 children or 10 mouths to feed in your house, and you cannot provide for 3. So what happens to the 7? They have to look for survival. That on one part. They may look for survival wrongly. They may stray into the desert and be torn into pieces by hunger, or go into the forest and be torn into pieces by lion and wild animals. But the thing is this, that it is you who is unable to provide for the 10 mouths that you have to feed. That's it's comported and put at the right place, government. There is no job. I had the statistics of 4 million plus losing their job in 2007. Dele, I strongly disagree. The figure is far larger than that. In 2007 alone.
2017.
In 2017. Thank you. Alone. As we wake up every morning, you find more mouths looking for food, and because of that, desperation pushes anybody to anything. Then there is this mediocre level of people who are exploiting people. We cannot provide for a total population. We have a large army, legions of them, of those who cannot survive. So they are looking for any opportunity. So if they go to Libya, and we're talking about those who are able to come back, my pain, Aghemerio, this morning is those who have been sold into slavery. The serious thing.
But you heard Aghemerio that the statistics was from February to November. Or the 10 of the 12 months. And as we speak, within that period is a reverse movement. People were still going.
I don't agree with that figure. 3,000. I wrote it down. 3,000. It is very, very low.
That's what I'm saying. But with this, if for 10 months we have this reverse movement, people going just as they are being returned, and yet we still have people going.
Dele, as we talk now, as we are talking on Rock City now, a lot of people are still moving out, looking for that opportunity that is being campaigned about.
Is the risk worth it?
It's not. It's not worth it. Let us get home now.
So with whatever pain
you have there, let me tell them in my own words. If your shoe is pinching and you cannot remove the pinch, remove your shoe. Stay at home. If your head is aching and you use all kinds of analgesic and all that, it's not working. Maybe you should go to the traditional thing and just go and use something that will make you do it. There is no Nigerian that should be proud to call himself or herself a Nigerian. And when you come back, you look at them, and when they are covering their faces, when they are alighting from the aircraft, why are they covering their faces? Why are you covering your faces? Let us put it direct. You don't have any business.
Of the journey.
Yes, going anywhere. Stay here, suffer it here. Okay, this Nigeria, now we won. Make you know, and then you remember what the song. You push me, I push him. I know, go. Let it push you, push the country back. But it is far better for you to stay here, because you see, we are talking about Nigerians being happy, Nigerians being religious. There are advantages to all this analysis too. People are willing to help you more here than you go abroad.
All right. Okay. Can you check the next story?
All right, the next story is about there's some federal lawmakers who got some knocks over the slashing of the vote for the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in the 2017 budget. We have the Power Works and Housing Minister Babatunde Fashola raising the alarm over the vote slash from 31 billion naira to 10 billion naira. He also complained about the cutting of the votes for other crucial projects and the votes diverted to boreholes and primary health care. Of course, it was a report or news that actually went round the Southwest. What would be your response to that?
And in addition to that, Biodun Bello, I'd like us to do a little balancing of this. Unfortunately, we didn't read the defense of the National Assembly for cutting it. Their own position was that that vote, the budget intent of those who drafted it, was sectional, and that money that would have gone for just one project could, and they tried to spread it to about 10 other projects.
Yes, I think I can remember.
That's their own defense. So, what does this in the case of governance?
Except for the one that you would not like to talk about, and I would not like to talk about on Rock City FM, because we have sanity here. Now, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, let us take it from the point of the use of the public, is rated as the highest, the busiest motorway, if not in Africa. It is the one that leads to almost every part of our country, and we see it as very important. As we talk now, Dele construction is still going on there. It is not done. So the National Assembly, especially members of the House of Representatives, said what they said. Don't let us go back to that. Nigerians reacted, but for me, the issue is this. The budget that is supposed to be superintended by them, that they have seen, there is a clause that we have not both had, that they have seen before and agreed to.
Yes.
It was defended and accepted. Then behind our own back, the public, and let me also say the ministry, they now decided to cut the budget. Rumors flew here and there, but the important thing is that whatever they have done affected and is affecting the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And so this is my own position. Anything that is good for the people, give it to us. 200 or is it 300 new cars were purchased for the members of the luxurious cars. How much did they use to get that one? I'm not going to get 360. I'm not going to get into that. But the issue is this. Why did they accept it at first? Why did they cut it? Whatever politics is in between, my position is this, and a lot of people support it. The expressway is still in need of serious attention. When you go now, you don't know when you come across hold up anywhere. Between Lagos and Shagamu exchange, it is even better. Go and look at it from Shagamu to Ibadan. It's in a serious. Some of the roads have not been touched at all. So this is not even a matter of budget figure for me. It's a matter of responsibility between a government.
That's why I said, what education did this show about governance and government in the country?
Okay, you are now
bringing. Just said it. That road is
you are now
officially the most important.
In Nigeria, it is. The second one is the Onitsha
by the volume of traffic.
Now let us look at it this way. I have always said that people should govern for those who voted them in, not for themselves. On this particular very volatile platform, I have told our lawmakers that we voted them there not because we wanted them to get houses in Abuja, not because we wanted them to get constituency allowances, not because we wanted them to get wardrobe and whichever one, gardening and house help and all that allowances. We voted them there because in the first case we trusted them, that they will be able to change our environment, which will affect us and take us to progress. This is not happening. What you have on most occasions on the floor of the house, when you listen to the debates, the sides that they take, I have no apologies because I'm a voter. The sides that they take are only those sides that favors them.
All right, because we still have other stories that have to do with the National Assembly. So many interesting stories are there.
Definitely. There's another one on the senators reacting to suspension of the SGF Babachir Lawal. And we have this particular one on Shehu Sani heading the committee that blew the lead of the contract frauds of the Presidential Initiative for the Northeast. That is PIN, who commended President Muhammadu Buhari for suspending the official at the center of the scandal. All right, and now Mr. Buhari announced the suspension of Mr. Lawal over allegations of breach of law and due process in the contracts awarded by PIN. The allegations were made by the Senate Ad hoc Committee on Mounting Humanitarian Crisis in the Northeast, chaired by Mr. Sani. All right, and now the Senate adopted Mr. Sani's interim report, which contained the allegations and thus resolved to call Mr. Lawal's suspension and prosecution.
Now, very below. Interestingly, this story began in 2016, dragged on to 2017.
Yeah.
And then, well, I want to find out what this Senate particularly wants credit for that story first. They were the one who uncovered it. They were the one who mounted pressure. At a point in time, it looked as if the executive arm did not want to do anything about the Babachir Lawal thing until that of the NIA DG came up and the two were merged together. So, can't we give the Senate, for once, that credit for being sensitive to people's position like you've criticized them for?
Yes, we can. We can be. In fact, I want to single out Shehu
as an activist.
As an activist.
Right activist.
And so it is now reflecting. They went on, what do you call it now? Is it, they went, what do you call it?
Oversight
visitor, and then they discovered all that. And they were able to put two and two together. And the presidency dragged its foot so long and so slowly that we're beginning to feel that, like Aisha told us, that they are untouchables.
That's the man that is one of the key men.
There is another one. I will not mention it. But that one too will come out. So it was there, and after that, unprintable news, unspeakable news started saying that there is nothing anybody can do about him. So the Senate intensified, and I think we should also give it to Sharap. Sharap too. Yes, they said no, this cannot go on. But you see, our president had a coach that covered him because he wasn't around, he wasn't sick, he was sick. And then the vice president who could have taken the action was the chairman of the committee that did the investigation. It is not lawful for him to act and say, morally it is even wrong. So we had that dragged into something that was non-palatable. It's a minus for the presidency, whether you want to accept it or not. And it is a plus for the Senate. Let us be very frank with that one. We thank the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for at least doing that. What is my grouse now is that is it Lawal alone that is involved, or is it because there is a kind of wrangling between the Senate and the presidency that we are able to get that one? Whichever, it is good for the people to know that even as high as the secretary to the federal government, you can have a company where money is allocated for the succor of IDPs, oh my God, and then they can do what they did. But Dele, what is happening to Lawal now?
Till today, that event, that story remains a dent in the corruption war, because critics of that corruption war will continue to use it as the pointer to...
Dele, as far as I'm concerned, nothing has happened to Lawal. The due process that should take place, Lawal should be prosecuted. And then if he is found guilty, dealt with. So why are we have dragged our foot for almost 1.5 years on whether he did it or not. We have concluded that he has done it. He has been removed from office. Another person is there. What is the law doing that Lawal has not been brought to book?
All right, next story, Aghemerio.
Raid on judges' houses, threat to judiciary independence. Okay, that's another story that was so interesting.
That was one of the dramas of
I told you,
27
a
Hollywood.
drama that many Nigerians actually thought would not end so soon. But obviously, it seems it's gradually ending.
We now have a court pronouncement declaring that as illegal.
As illegal. Now, the National Judicial Council on Thursday condemns the raid. That was then the raid on some judges' houses by the operatives of the Department of State Services over and the subsequent arrest of judicial officers. Now, in the statement issued by the acting director, information, that is Mr. Sojiuye, the NJC describes the treatment meted out to the arrested judicial officers as a threat to the independence of the judiciary. Now, at the meeting, Oye said the NJC nominated to President Muhammadu Buhari for appointment as the next Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Nohen, to succeed the outgoing CJN. That was another story then. Justice Mahmoud Mohammed, who retires on attaining 70 years of age. That was November 10, 2016, but focus on the raid on judges' houses, threat to judiciary independence.
Yes, how did you see that? And of course, that's another story. The drama or the crisis that followed the appointment of the current CGN. Some people say politics in the judiciary.
Dele, it is barbaric for anybody to go, not even only judges, without due process, you go into the house of anybody and you muzzle that person. You know that a judge will have to sign the warrant for search or anything, even arrest. But then, because they think that they have the information, whether blown whistle or blown whistle, and they've said certain things are there. The issue is this, Dele, what did they bring out from the judges' houses? To show Nigerians that, okay, when we got to Biodun Bello's house, we saw all this and all this and all this. Eventually, there was nothing that they were able to bring out from those judges' houses. The only one person, one particular judge, Aghemerio or something like that, that didn't even have anything to do with that raid. All of those who were raided, whether smartly or smartly, they didn't get anything from that. And they did not apologize to Nigerians, to the judicial people and all that. Those people legally have been pronounced innocent. And if such a thing happens here, and they have been reinstated as judges, how do you feel when a man sits there and then you now say you have done injustice to him or her? You now bring another case. You expect that person, although I know professionally judges are out there above all of us, I trust them, I respect them, they will still do what they can. But the Yorubas will come and say the mark of the accident is not the same thing as the part of your body that is fresh. It is not okay for people like the DSS to start muzzling people and all of that. If they muzzle judges, what will they do to Dele? I hope nobody is muzzling you here for...
At least not for now. Alright, we go on. Check another interesting dramatic story.
It's about the uniform saga and lead to shun Senate summons as AGF intervenes. The AGF, we're talking about the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, who wrote to President of the Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki, saying it will be sub-judicial for the upper chamber to insist that the Controller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Colonel Hamid Ali, who of course retired, should wear the NCS uniform. Ali, who disclosed this in an interview with journalists in Abuja, said the AGF wrote the Senate President following a suit filed by a lawyer, Mohammed Ibrahim, on the issue of uniform. The custom boss said a copy of the letter written by the AGF was sent to the NCS, adding that he would not go to the Senate because of the writ of summons on the case.
Another Hollywood story of the year 2017.
Real drama.
Who is it? The who that makes the monk? Is it the uniform
that makes the man.
That makes the man.
Really is a very good way to put it. Let's put it this way. Ali, for example, was a disciplined, retired soldier. I can say that because I had to investigate, and I found that he was one of those who worked very closely with Buhari and all that. Now he has been consistent. He has the same kind of lifestyle with our president. You don't find him having opulence and all those around him.
No mixed society.
Yes, he is a very, very frugal and straightforward person, and I think that is why the president put him there. Like you said correctly, what is in the uniform? It is the man or the woman that is in the uniform. I think what has happened that they have not told us is that some interest in the National Assembly was stopped from importing and bringing in certain things into the country that are illegal according to customs. And it became a confrontation. You know, we read opinions, articles and all that, but we cannot start mentioning here because we are a responsible station. So that kind of snowballed into a very bad relationship. So they were, I think, my own opinion, because of that problem, they were trying to fix who or who is. But let me conclude this one by telling Nigerians this. For the first time in the history of this country, customs made 1,200,000,000,000 and something billion, the highest revenue ever under Ali.
The other opinion is also saying that the executive arm were also playing to the gallery. The fact that it's like the general consensus opinion of Nigerians about the National Assembly, it's weak, it's strong. That's for Ali's action or act was an insult on an institution.
Not to wear uniform.
Not to
go there.
Not to go there.
If
he's the DG or the number one person of
customs
proud to wear that tie, he should also be proud to wear the uniform.
I think we were following it and we were talking to each other. I was in Abuja and I was talking to you and I said, the man went there eventually.
Yes.
But he did not wear the uniform. And he defended his not being in uniform 2 ways. He said in the first case, he is the controller of customs by appointment. If he's going to wear any uniform, the one he's entitled to wear is that of the army, which will be imposing, which may be wrong. But in his second opinion, which I agree with you, was that the whole issue, as far as he is concerned, is frivolous. It is not necessary.
Yeah.
I think you may be right that if you accept an appointment, for example, and I insist that even the female that are coming here should put on ties. Look at the banks. You are obliged to do that. But Ali, being the kind of person he is, did not. Whether that controversy is going to die, because it is still open. Whenever he goes to the Senate, they say they are not going to see him except he puts on uniform. And again, the budget that he went to defend, the same thing happened.
I think we should respect the institutions.
Yes, institutions. They should. Like I have said, if you accept it.
Quickly, let's check the next one. Another drama.
Okorocha allegedly blew 1 billion naira on Zuma Johnson Sirleaf statues.
Oh my
That
God!
is according to Sarah Petitions, EFCC, others. Now, Socioeconomic Rights and Accountability Project, Sarah Code of Conduct Bureau, CCB, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, and Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, will investigate allegations of abuse of office involving Governor Rochas Okorocha of
Sorry, I guess because of the time. Whether the figure quoted was correct or not, the fact is that a statue of Jacob Zuma and some other people were erected. Somebody said, that's his description of Okorocha, has mentioned that he's a bad advertiser or marketer of the APC in the Southeast. What's your opinion?
Dele, let me add that another statue has been added.
Yeah.
That of the outgoing president of Liberia has been added.
Yes,
Let me also add that he said he did not use our money.
No, that's the point. Whether
it is our money or not,
or the figure is correct or
the
not.
most painful thing there, in fact, let me credit my station, Rock City, for bringing it this out so that we can explain it, people can understand it. The most assaulting thing there is that Zuma is not credit worthy in his country.
In his hometown, facing several allegations of morality
serious one,
and financial corruption,
including battery of women.
That's what I said, morality
and this is the person that you did not only give a very high chieftaincy title. I'd like to know the monarch who gave out that one, and then you now put the. Let me forecast something so that we can go. One day that particular statue will be brought down.
By
I don't know. Just let us leave it that way.
Security are listening.
Let them listen. When the people of Imo State wake up, they will bring it down.
All right, another drama. The next story.
Okay, this one, it's indeed a drama, but really striking. It's about a kidnapper, a renowned kidnapper. Okay, and obviously you should know who I'm talking about. Police arrest notorious kidnapper Evans. All right, and that is talking about Chukwudibem Elias Evans, okay, who was arrested by the police in Lagos after 5 years of trailing him. Obviously, he had been in the business before that for those 5 years.
I don't want us to look at the event, the police made of that arrest. Now we all saw what the police made of that drama, and it was at that time that this was going to be the end of kidnapping in Nigeria. One first question. Did they not blow it more than the necessary? That's one, because several kingpins of kidnappers have emerged and several high-profile kidnapping occurred after the arrest of Evans. That's one. The way Evans' arrest was celebrated and the way the prosecution is being handled, as an observer, what do you have to say?
I saw a particular clip. Okay, let's do it very quickly. I saw a particular clip on television. It was as if Shekau had been captured. Police and all of them were just, and my stomach was turning. What has that got to do with the celebration? Even the man taken to court, and if we are not careful, all the legal this thing may happen. There is no reason for us to celebrate such a thing. It is sad that somebody within the confines of law and all that can organize such advanced, such organized, such well-funded system of kidnapping people. And there are so many other evidences. They are still there. Let us leave it that way because of our time, because I can see that we want to do something else.
Yes, we have to take the break and come back. After that, we'll continue. But just give us just the headlines of the other stories so that Biodun Bello and the listener can have an idea and prepare themselves.
This is about
the headlines.
Kanu's whereabouts unknown after military attack on home. That is one. The other one is Buhari suspending SGF, Babachir Lawal, and DG NIA. Okay, all right. And then we have Senator Misa revealing how much Nigeria policemen pay Police Service Commission for special promotion. And also there's one on Malibu Scandal. And this one is about court returns OPL 2452 Shell and Eni. Those are the ones.
All right, don't go anywhere. We will be back after the 10 o'clock news. Yes, sir. Again, thank you for still being there listening to us on Rock City 101.9 FM here in the city of Abuja. Yes, it's the Citizens Forum. Yes, your forum where you have the opportunity. This is the parliament where you also debate for or against as important, as intelligent, and of course as very informative as we can. And this morning is a review of the 2017. We are looking at the society and general studies that made the headlines in the year 2017. Remember, just 2 official days more for the year 2017. With us is a broadcaster, a member of the parliament, Biodun Bello. All right, Aghemerio, over to you.
Now let's quickly take the story on Malibu Scandal, court returning OPL 245 to Shell and Eni. An Abuja division of the Federal High Court has reversed its previous ruling which retrieved the control of one of Nigeria's richest oil blocks, OPL 245 from Shell and Eni. Now the court had on January 26 issued an order based on a motion by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission retrieving the ownership of the oil block from the multinational companies. And following that order, Shell and Eni approached the court with an application challenging the ruling. They contended that the right of parties to fair hearing was not followed before the ruling was reached, and they prayed the court to reverse the order and allow the parties address the issue legally. Right, that's another issue there.
Yes, I'm sorry, it's the Malibu and the oil thing, but I want us to link it with another discovery of the year. It has an international dimension, but frustratingly, Nigeria's names were mentioned. The Panama discovery, the Panama leaks. That's actually what time the areas were.
You were looking
How desperate are we as a people, Nigerians now, does this show in our quest to amass fortunes, wealth?
Dele, how many times have I called you? Have you heard me, ba? I called him 3 times. When you say Nigerians, how desperate are these opportune, positioned Nigerians to further their nest with all kinds of money? When we take the Malibu, those who went to jail in the US, they have already finished their jail over the Malibu issue. Yes.
Anybody.
We have not done anything here. We are still in court. This story, if I can get it very well, started in 2003.
Yes, or 2002.
2002 or 2003. We are still on it. We are still going to court and coming back. The money or everything that is being spent, high level legal representation and all that, is still coming from the unrecovered, unreturned Malibu issue. The Malibu issue is one of the biggest boil in the front forehead of Nigerian governments and those who are in that particular area of oil industry raking. It is not generally Nigerian. You see the Panama issue. Nigerians, if you read the report very well, I'm sure, they said they are not mentioning everybody involved yet. They are just giving up tips of the iceberg. And when you try to confirm, they will not want to confirm because they said even those people who are behind the Panama issue are dangerous.
That is because it's like the international involvement, connivers,
conspiracy
in corruption, particularly in developed countries. Big, almost all the major countries are big, including President Trump, the Queen. These names were there. How does this confirm those who say that the international connivers all over the world, the United Nations and all this, like Fela will say, is an association of disjointed, waiting united inside United Nations?
There is an analysis now that is getting clearer and clearer. Those list of those who are the richest people in the world, and the richest man is Dangote, isn't it? If you look at Warren Buffett, that is one giant in electronics.
Yes.
All over the world, people respect this man because he started using his screwdriver. He's now about 90-something years old now. And he says, any business that you do that cannot be well accounted for in underdeveloped or developing country is corruption. You are very, very correct, and that is why you find those of us who consult for international development partners are always handicapped. Let me give you a very straight example so that I don't confuse my sister. If Dele, for example, has the potential of becoming president tomorrow, and he has come out and said, yes, I want to be possible.
Sorry, this may be a distraction, but it's important. Is it potential that makes you president of government Nigeria, or the opportunity, or the allocation?
In fact, they leave all that one. It is the people that should make you president. So don't take me to that. Now, if somebody is coming out now and his name is among those who are in that Panama list, I'm not pointing any fingers, just doing analysis like we do on Rock City.
Like I said, name mention.
If the name of that person is yet to be mentioned, and it's likely that that person may contest the 2019 election, and possibility or probability is there, like you have said, that he may win. The international conspiracy that we are talking about, we start looking at the billions of dollars that they are trading with Nigeria. The Queen or England will start looking at this. If eventually we start all this and this guy comes in. So there is international financial conspiracy. There is international financial espionage. There is international financial cooperation. Cover you, I cover me. And so that things can go on. The international society cannot watch its hands, especially governments. Especially government in certain countries. Capitalist country, if you want to go by Marx. They will continue to use capitalism to dominate the peoples of the world. And there is nothing anybody can do if you give them the chance.
All right, because we have two other stories. Dramatic, I'm sure.
Yeah, dramatic. It's about Kanu's whereabouts, unknown after military attack on home. Okay, what do you have to say to that? What's your reaction to that?
We thought Nnamdi Kanu was coming as a hurricane. Did he really achieve that?
No, he did not.
No, it was just a
no, you see, if you look, what is the name of the man who was who did Masop?
Wazirike.
God bless you. Wazirike told us as a nation. He said, Kanu, with the beginning of the broadcast of the radio, was kind of recruited by him. Nobody has denied that. To further what they used to call Masop. But suddenly, here comes Kanu, who to me, this is my very personal opinion, is wrongly indoctrinated. Whether he believes in what he's saying or not is not very clear. I have argued this one seriously with my very intellectual Igbo friends. If Kanu has a purpose, can you compare Kanu with Ken Saro-Wiwa? You can't. Because Kanu's objective is kind of mundane for me. How do you now bring out a Biafra out of a Nigeria that is constitutionally corporate? How many people are from that side in the Senate? How many people are there in the House of Assembly? How many people are ministers and all that? How many Igbos are married to Yorubas and all that, intermarriage and all that? It is too late. And I'm saying it with all sincerity, please forgive me if you feel offended. It is too late for any section of this country to say we want to secede. The secession is not the word.
Let's also look at the government's handling of the issue, the IPOB issue. Today, Kanu is believed to be his whereabouts unknown, that of his father. So people say he has been killed. Those who stand to achieve for him contesting so many things. The handling of the issue by government, some people said it was the one that fueled it and gave Kanu at least the level of recognition he had before he filled out.
According to Governor Oji, again, you know, I always like to support my own thing, and he went public, he published it. He said Kanu escaped. And he said Kanu escaped via Malaysia to wherever he has gone, and he is saying it on the authority.
That is the UK.
That is the UK. Nobody has challenged Orji. The UK government has not denied it. I know the British government, they did not confirm, they did not deny. Is Kanu there on political asylum? Is he there with his parents? That is one ballgame. Kanu has a case to answer in court. His lawyer has been appearing, we cannot see him. But let us now come to Operation Crocodile, what is tears or whatever.
Smiling crocodile.
Smiling crocodile. I have never seen a crocodile that can smile. Let us be very, very frank with ourselves here. The issue is like a sledgehammer used to kill a fly. and they gave Kano and his small enclave an opportunity to dirty the way we have handled the whole issue. Whether they are throwing stones or sticks or anything at a passing battalion of soldiers or not, I would have thought that the Nigerian army, matured, mighty, and magnificent, should have neglected them.
All right, the last story we'll pick is another Hollywood story event. Well,
It's
not,
gonna be a blockbuster,
not
actually.
produced by the Hollywood actors, but by a Nigerian, distinguished Nigerian.
Senator Misal reveals how much Nigeria policemen pay Police Service Commission for special promotion. It seems alarming.
And it was another running story. It went from that to some personal issues between him and the IG, and of course, as we speak, there are serious divisions. So people have said, so there are people after Misal for saying it.
We have the senator representing Bauchi Central in the National Assembly, Issa Hama Misal, who has said police officers pay as much as 2.5 million naira to get special promotion through the Police Service Commission. And Misal, a retired police officer, disclosed this while reacting to the bribery scandal allegedly rocking the Police Service Commission. 2.5 million naira.
And the police said he was a disaster. He went to war.
No, they have now, they have
That was
the Police Service Commission.
Yeah, they cleared that really. That's why the story became a Hollywood thing, because it went to personal, the number of wives, the number of police women.
Now, really, to really comment on that one, let me first of all commend your crew on this one, because I have a library of all those things. Right in the studio here, everything that I have been asked to comment on this morning, I have newspaper cuttings, they're all here, and this one is the one that I have put a question mark on up till today. If, for example, AI, that this man was a deserter, what would have happened? How did he get into the Senate as a deserter? But that has been cleared. But the only thing that I want Nigerians to hear from Rock City FM is that until the man raised an alarm that people are paying to get plump positions and all that, he wasn't a deserter. He was not. He's still a distinguished Nigerian senator. He was so until he started exposing certain things that are going on there. The police became you tackle me, I double you.
Yeah.
In those days. So, but today we now know, because from what I have heard, he is being asked to present some of those beneficiaries in parentheses of those kind of positions. And from all indications, it's like there are some very, very high people who are benefited from it. And there is no way you can now come out and say, for example, please forgive me, a DIG got this,
a retired IG,
or a retired IG got this, or even a commissioner got this and got that. So
and the man will follow you and say, I got it.
Conclusion, Dele, double wahala for the body.
That's what people say, that
it's not going. There's nothing anybody will be able to do about it.
Fighting the institution.
It is going to be buried.
All right, let me just add that the IGP, Ibrahim Idris, is from Niger, and Senator Misal is from Bauchi. So really, they are not kinsmen. We may think they are northerners, but they are not kinsmen. That's not the tradition. No. All right, so it's your turn to fire back.
All right, turn to fire back. We have the Facebook fan page, Rock City 101.9 FM, the Twitter handle at Rock City FM. You can also use the short code platform, type rock, ROCK, leave a space. Let's have your thoughts on what we're looking at, review it, bringing up stories and review of the year 2017, the society and societal stories that made the year 2017. And you can also call the studio lines. We have 0809 868 7344 or 0909 146 9670. Then I would want us to start with the messages. We got quite a number of tweets.
Quickly, just in a minute, just to remind our listener that please, the style is that we will not go outside those stories and issues guest analyst has mentioned, Biodun Bello, except he chooses to answer the question. If you are taking us out of it, please.
And of course, on a day like this, I think 1 minute should just
yes, not true. Thank you.
Now, this came from Adewale Shobowale. Your guest, Bibi, has not disappointed us as a man who is worth his salt. However, I want to take him up on Nigerians going to Europe through the desert. Well, the fact still remains that man is an inquisitive animal. Man will love to better his lot, especially when his normal place of habitat is deemed not to be favorable. I strongly believe it to be the duty of the authorities of the countries Nigerians are passing through to either allow or reject them. By the way, I find it hard to believe that Nigeria still has an embassy in Libya. The United Nations agencies too were somewhat late to react to the inhumanity taking place in Libya. Now, this question goes to you. What does Mr. Bello have to say about medical personnel fleeing Nigeria? That's a question there. On a tweet, on a tweet where
I did say anyway, he will answer.
Yeah, he will answer. Engineer Ogie tweeted, societal issues such as national identity, corruption, inequality, poverty, insecurity and insurgencies, poor standard of education and illiteracy, high level of unemployment, high morbidity and mortality rate, etc. are yet to be attained to by our leaders. 2017 is gone. 2018 is coming. Akinde Ebenezer also tweeted, whether Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, or Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, none of African countries can achieve the stated goals come year 2030. It is a mirage for African countries that cannot fully implement budget later. Dolani Robert also tweeted, it's unfortunate that Boko Haram menace from 2009 to date has no solution and government is not strategizing on how to stop it. Still from Dolani Robert, the truth will set you free, but at first it will piss you off. Okay, and we have it as administration is fair. Okay, Mr. Buhari's administration is fair. And we have this one from Dolani Robert. There are a lot of gates in 2017, such as Maina Gate, Dasuki Gate, Ikoyi Gate, Dizani Gate, but so many unanswered questions loom this gate. Dolani Robert still. National
I think the welders were very busy in the year 2017 mounting up these gates.
All right.
A National Assembly member should try and look into the budget proposal to say so they can pass it on time and fast infrastructure work can take place. And another tweet from Dolani Robert, our judicial system needs to help and support the Muhammadu Buhari's agenda of fighting corruption to have a better sustainable development and economy. We got this one from Surakat Abiodun. What do you have to comment on the continued acting of Ibrahim Magu as the acting chairman of EFCC till today? And for how many months should this lasted? Still from Surakat Abiodun, the Chibok girls and the exchange of prisoners. Don't you think this is another avenue to escalate terrorism in the country? And we got this from Yemi Da Vinci. It is always a pleasure to listen to Double B, and I find it hard to fault any of his erudite submissions. Happy birthday in advance, sir. May you live long in good health and sound mind. Now we'll need to pick some calls. 0809-868-7344 or 0909-146-9670, please.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. This is
All right,
I'm calling from Oaikhenan. Good morning, Didi. Sir, please, Colonel Ali. No, it is now in all law in military that once you cannot put on another uniform again, then he even said that it is not in the constitution that as a controller general of a custom that you should put on uniform. That is this one frivolous? That's my question.
I think that's what Double B said. That's the word he used. Okay. Hello. Hello, morning. Your turn, please.
Yeah, my name is Isam Savainesha from Abuja. I want to make my own comment on the overall of the
Isa Mustafa
year 2007. What is the security?
Isa Mustafa, please, we have a style, please. There are stories, there are some stories we are specifically looking at. We cannot look at all the issues at a go, please.
Take the case of Badu as a good example. The linear they could do. The people that the Western world have funded the free place of Africa. I mean, blacklisted the number of people that want to make this country great. And they hand over them to the criminal guys that need to eliminate them. But we need to condemn all this Operation Crocodile Spine. You know, arrest all these criminals. The person I'm glad about, and they are not arrested. So these are criminals.
All right, thank you. It's a minute this morning. I don't know if Peter will be glad to say anything. Morning.
Morning, Dele.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Evangelist, Madam. Good morning, Bibi, sir. I'm tired of Olumide from Abuja. Since you are giving us 1 minute, I will quickly wrap up my points. You see, I want to cross-examine the leadership versus Libya, 3,400 or so people, or 1,000 or so, that went to probably seek solace in that land. You see, 2017 is a year we need to measure our performances and success as against our potential and purpose as leaders and as individuals. In fact, I'm seeing in a nation now where leaders are no more ready to commit themselves to excellence any longer. They are not ready to give more than is expected of them. So I wonder where they take pride, even in every task now. Most especially now, we have been talking about Mesau, we have been talking about so many of them now. The absurdities in the land are so many now that we cannot even know what question we need to ask, other than that we ask that probably maybe the pride in these people are the ones that have been probably putting them so far away from good governance.
Thank you very much.
Problem. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's just have 2 calls and we'll come to Biodun Bello. Just 2
Hello.
for now.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Morning.
Good morning, my name is Lawal.
We have you, Lawal. Good morning.
I'm speaking from Antakuta. In fact, Biodun Bello really made my day this morning. I really appreciate all his analysis. But I want to ask a question. Because of what is happening in Nigeria, every day you listen to news, you hear such news, such information. What we know that this thing is not right. We heard it from the federal government. We heard it from our rulers. Does it mean the question is, will Nigeria ever be better? That's my question.
All right, thank you. We'll add 1 more for now.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, Aghemerio.
Good morning.
And double P.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Emeka, we can hear you.
Yeah, you haven't commented about the Mina, about him being out of the country and receiving salary.
Well, we did not pick the story somehow. We did not pick that story somehow. There are so many gates, so we don't know the ones to open.
Yes, Mr. Dele, you are taking out of my minute. I charge you for that. Double B.
Yeah.
Please, these people are they meddling corruption or they are fighting corruption? Because I can find out that some people are hung after the country. Because when they expose those people that make them to be jailing in UK and other places, I know that this kind of we have been hearing it, even in the Asian minister and so on and so forth. Please, are they not any corruption or they are fighting corruption?
Thank you.
All
right. Okay, you want to add the messages?
Yeah, let me just
after that,
the messages. This one actually came in during the quick takes, but we couldn't take it. Life itself is full of ups and downs. Yeah, 2017 is not an exception, but I pray for better 2018 politically, economically, socially. God bless us. Olajide Oteshile sent that message. And this very one says, BB, why would we not have more of events? Okay, why would we not have more of events in the sophisticated kidnap gold mine when it is taking the police and the judiciary endless time to pass judgments on events and complain while the man is enjoying and getting reversed in detention? Coyote from Rwanda sent that in. And this one came from Ikechuku Olisa. I think that the Chief of Army Staff is in a better position to tell us the whereabouts of Nnamdi Kanu or the federal government, because they are the ones that sent Python to dance in his hometown. But why did he go on the ground? I thought he's a freedom fighter. He could have stood and fired back so that Nigerians would see how serious he is. As for me, Python can dance forever, but dialogue remains the best solution to the whole drama because blood is thicker than water. All right, those are the messages.
Well,
we have to be very, very fast. Let's start from the beginning. Ali, thank you very much. Well, if we have to better our lots, government responsibility has to go up. Illegal entry is what is happening in Libya. Let us be frank with ourselves. It is illegal. So it is not whether people are going there, are stealing in and all that, and so they are being maltreated. People should stop it. Medical personnel are going outside of our shores because they feel that there are greener pastures there. It has been there. They call it brain drain one time.
It's actually beyond since 80s.
Yes, it's still there.
A new thing. It's not that the number just increased.
Engineer Ogi, your comment is good enough for us to even put on a plate of gold or platter of gold. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, Akinde Ebenezer. Yes. There is nothing we can do for now. If 2030, if 2020 did not work, and we don't work well, I'm using the words of the representative of UNESCO now, 2030 will also not work. Between 2006 and 2020, we had the MDGs. Now we're having the SDGs. If we don't work like we did not work, no African country will be able to do anything by 2030. So, Biola, Boko Haram is a problem. It still remains a problem. Budget or no budget, scandal or no scandal, all the gates, like Dele have said, how many keys are we going to use to open all of them? The point is this, that we must support our system to defeat whatever kind of problems, security or otherwise, that is afflicting us. Yes, Suraka Abiodun, Magu is acting. Mr. President has appointed him. Nobody can do anything about that one. Whether it is right or not, Mr. President has the authority to appoint anybody as acting. And the House have tried their best. The House cannot sack him. He's still acting until he's called the full substantial. Then that is when they break the law. Yes, it is true that exchange of prisoners is dangerous. But I would like to have the Chibos bed back at whatever cost. That is for me. I don't know about you, but I would like to have them back. You know what is happening to them. And Yemi, thank you very much, my brother. You say you just wanted to wish me. All right. The consumer is, let me tell you something very quickly this morning. The first important rule in development in the world is trade. All of them that came in 1420, or those, they were looking for trade before they came to Africa and all those trade. If the consumer is only consuming and we are not trading, Abdul Ghaffar, we are getting back to where we should be. There is this tendency always in Nigeria that when somebody is in office and you set up a panel or anything committee about him, the person doesn't step down. That is something that we'll have to insist on. We have to pressure government. In the moment you saw what happened in the US. It is even the moral right. Yes, moral rights of that person to leave the office. Okasali, Colonel Ali, and uniform again. Just leave him alone. And let us go ahead. There is nothing anybody can do about that. I must comment on the Badu. And very slowly, we begin to have another dictionary. Dangerous, diction in our word. Badu this, Badu that. Before this turns into something more serious, I think I am challenging the Nigerian police, especially those who, is SARS still there now, I don't know.
Yes.
That these people should not be allowed to breathe, not to talk of live. Thank you very much. You have always been very analytical about leadership, and then maybe it is time to challenge you to come out and
yes,
contest.
So that you have the opportunity
so that we can measure performances and all that.
From you.
But I am always very proud of you whenever you come in. Lawal, Sad news. Sad news. But then, please take the better part. Federal government, whether Nigeria will be greater or not greater, let me tell you, there is only one important thing that can make us greater. Elder Shoneka told us a few weeks ago that Nigeria can be better. Baba Sunja will tell us Nigeria will be better. All of them. But they are not telling you the underlying things that will make Nigeria better. I'll tell you this morning. Nigeria will never be better except you contribute your rightful quota. That is the most challenging thing. Anywhere you are, wherever you are, you must contribute your rightful quota. Emeka, me and you will go and look for minor. Because the government is fighting corruption in its way. We have said it at the beginning. Nobody is pampering corruption now. There's one thing that is very, very clear now. If you do anything wrong, Buhari will make sure that at least, yes, that there's a deterrent. So it's different from all those Olaji Day, Yeshile, I think so. Thank you very much. That's a very good one. Howdy from Rwanda. The cases are too long in our courts because we have been told by Falano that there is inadequacy of administrative and all. Everything is inadequate. The courts are not enough. The people are not enough. Judges are not enough. And then maybe the money to even pay them is not enough. Yes. Olisa, I enjoyed what you have said. It is only dialogue. Kanu had to run. Oh, please don't blame him. Oh. Kanu had to run. He had to run away. It's when something is mightier than you, there is nothing you can do about it. I want to thank all of you for so far.
Yes, we can go by. We've got some tweets here, some more tweets. And this came from Ogunyemi Safari. What is the latest on Senator Dino Melaye recall issue? Or is it going down the drainage as usual? And
so we are thought we will bring that on tomorrow when we are reviewing the National Assembly, but somehow that is not likely to work. I mentioned that we also thought Senator Larry Tejo will be with us, but again, the two that his diary and hers seems not to agree for tomorrow. So please bear with us.
The Act defines an officer as any person employed in the Nigerian Customs Service or for the time being performing duties in relation to customs or excise. But this definition, Ali, is the number one officer as NCS and officers wear uniforms. Happy birthday in advance, all right, to you. And Yemi Da Vinci tweeted, it is a shame that the Nigerian government is not doing anything to win the peace in the Northeast. We need to have government-supported, credible religious leaders continually counter Boko Haram's theology. And still from Yemi Da Vinci, in my own opinion, Colonel Ali should wear the uniform or resign. If he's getting pension money from army and being paid by customs, he must respect both institutions. And still from Yemi Da Vinci, I would like Double B to comment on the Mapoli imbroglio. What do you think is the best path?
He's not one of the. I'm sorry about it. Except he chooses to, but it's not one of those things we are talking about
this morning. Surakat Biodun tweeted again. Empty and fine and issues surrounding it. After the first initial payment, nothing has been done till now. And back to Yemi Da Vinci's tweet, Babachir Lawal should be given the Dasuki treatment if this administration is really sincere about fighting corruption. We got this tweet from Samu163. Good morning, BB. We have been talking on the leadership failure in Nigeria, but unfortunately, there has been no solution. My question is that, can you, BB, Dele, and your good colleague set up a platform of screening to choose a leader? Okay. James Ajibade tweeted, Comrade BB, please, what's your definition of corruption? Also, is the government fighting corruption or just recovering looted fund? Your stand, please. And we got this from Samu163. What can you say about restructuring? Do we need it? If yes, under what definition? Do you have interest in politics? Adeneko Luwashon tweeted again, I'm surprised by the number of Nigerians that have been deported. What they don't know is the countries they're running to didn't develop overnight, so you can't expect to comfortably reap what you didn't sow, thinking the roads are paved with gold. Niger go better. And Akinde Ebenezer also tweeted, the economy of this country is import-driven one until we move to export driven one. We will continue to travel on a circle. Okay, those are the tweets here.
Biodun Bello. Interested in
Yes, I'm not. That's
that's a question from
I'm going to be monitoring the studio tomorrow, and here the issue of Senator Melai. I don't want to comment on it until I won't jump the gun. So that those who will do that, but I'm going to be monitoring. Let us leave the issue of monitoring alone. It's not the monk and the hood matter now. So please leave Ali alone. Yemi, again, thank you very much. Religious leaders are leaders. So are traditional leaders. And we must continue to respect them. In the environment in which they spiritually occur to us, when they take their duties outside of their particular environment, is when we say they do. But I respect religious leaders, and I'm sure that those who are spirit-filled, heaven-bound, tongue-speaking, they do their job very well. The issue of my pony, no comment. So, Biodun, thank you very much again. Leadership, the answer is no. We don't have the correct type of leadership that we should have. I must say here very quickly that I found, and I've said it several times here, I found the leadership structure in Nigeria too large and too expensive. And that makes it very, very bitter for all of us, and suffering continues because we spend a lot of money on leadership. James Ajibade, yes, they are fighting corruption. It may not satisfy you yet, but then we will get there. I'm 163. Restructuring is not one of those things that we will talk about. We talked about it before, but restructuring starts from even you. Do you pay your tax? And okay, sorry if I'm hard. And then this issue of deportees, please don't go out. Oluwaseun, tell your friends, preach to them, stay here.
I love
my country.
Even if you want to travel, how can you make a journey
by road? If you go by the plane or anything like that, it means you have your visa.
Exactly, that you won't be treated this way.
You will not be treated this way. So that is the. Ebenezer, thank you again for that contribution. I think one thing that I must commend all of you, but we're beginning to get the Rock City star. It's not everybody that can be able to call in. You begin to use what you call the telecommunications systems around you. Becoming better. I have had more than 30 tweets, maybe only about 6 or 7 calls. And this is what I monitor almost every day when I'm around on my station. And I'm happy.
All right, we just pick a call or two.
Just one. We won't be able to take more than
just one. Hello.
Hello, morning.
Hello.
Good morning, everybody in the studio.
Thank you, sir.
If Ayodo, Aghemerio and Double B, I said good morning.
Quickly, Chief Jacob. Sorry.
That's your best thing. Well, I don't want to say that the way forward in 2018 will be like BBI said, to review the cost of administration, cost of maintaining our public officers must be drastically raised. And I'm ready to protest. We should occupy National Assembly and said the type of local government we run is the most expensive. We are running by camera local government system, which is just an illusion. The money is no longer enough to maintain 2 systems of National Assembly that we are running. Like before, I said in 1976, local government officials were elected as councillors, after which they all meet together to elect their chairman. It was less expensive, but now the chairman has to go and see Godfather.
All right, Chief.
We have to reduce this cost of administration.
Please, we must leave. We actually have less than 2 minutes.
Right. It's
9 minutes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Wait, let's just wrap it up with this message. Good analysis by Double B. As usual, one can only hope that the government will be more responsible, responsive, and the governed strive to do the right thing and be more patriotic in the coming year and beyond. God bless Nigeria. Dr. Chris Omotosho sent that message.
Double B in 30 seconds now.
It doesn't have to take. Don't say it. It doesn't have to take 30 seconds.
No, I want to ask a question. Yes, what events do you think will make 2018?
Well, very simple. The people's dominated, controlled, and organized 2018, when they will start campaigning and giving you rice and 200 naira, you must look seriously and decide. Nobody should tell us who will be in the office. We should be able to determine who will be our leader. And that is very, very important.
There won't be allocation of position, there will be allotment of positions.
It is the voter. You see, AI's hand is already up. I understand that. It is the voter that will decide for you.
Okay, yes.
For Lord City, thank you very much for being there all these years. It takes several years to build a reputation, but just 1 second to ruin it. So keep it up and keep the reputation up.
All right, again, yes, it's always a delight, like so many people have said. Thank you. Biodun Bello, this is the last Wednesday of the year 2017, and of course, to all of you, yes, you are part of the success story. You are part of those who make it tick. Dele, Ayodo is my name. I say God bless you, God bless Nigeria, and God bless Rock City.
I am Aghemerio. Oaikhenan. Good morning.
Very